Is it possible to have Kundalini active in certain chakras but not others? Yes, absolutely. Just because Kundalini has started to activate, or it has, you've experienced a Kundalini rising, does not mean that Kundalini is fully awake. An awakened Kundalini means that Kundalini has risen and descended and relaxed enough times that you can actually initiate Kundalini movements, Kundalini kriyas, at will, and turn them off pretty much at will. Kundalini initially is an autonomic set of responses that begin to blend together. They can be controlled or initiated by creating the right circumstances. With practice, just like you can learn to breathe smoothly and deeply, you can learn to control your swallowing, you can even learn to control regurgitation, as the great Houdini did, swallowing a key and regurgitating it so that he could let himself out of his handcuffs while submerged in a tank of water. All of these autonomic responses, even your heartbeat, can be controlled consciously with practice. With practice, with your body getting accustomed to Kundalini, you can actually learn to control it at will, opening out these movements or waves of Kundalini going through you and shutting them down again whenever you like. That's not the only thing. It's not just a matter of whether or not you can turn them on and off. It's also a matter of how many of the plexuses along the vagus nerve have been completely innervated by this particular response. It is possible, for instance, to open up Kundalini in the lower centers of your lower abdomen and then have it skip up the spine into the brain centers, skipping over the area of the cardiac plexus, or skipping over one of the other centers. Kundalini can move through any part of the nervous system, but it's only moving through the vagus nerve that you really get the central experience of each of those chakras or plexuses opening, the central experience of each of those parts of the brain becoming not only engaged, but coming gradually under conscious control so that you can shift effortlessly into being slow and steady, relaxed, into being dynamic and fluid, not only in your thinking, but in the malleability of the body, into being incredibly fiery and intense and precise, into being completely open, free, untied down by your ego, your lower personality, spreading out beyond that into space, becoming completely one-pointed as a yogi. Or opening up complete bliss. All of those experiences are just aspects of the various centers as you open them. And they become more plastic and more accessible, and you can actually open several of those experiences at once. Once Kundalini has actually pierced, using the traditional metaphor, each of those centers of the body.